Hey, John again here, that franchise guy, and I have with me today my friend Jake White. He's a new franchisee with Footprints Floors, and just a tremendous success, excuse me, success story in a very short time. And I wanted to get him on and talk to him a little bit today about his journey to get to Footprints and how it's going for him. Welcome, Jake. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah, thank you, John. I really appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to just get straight into Footprints and all the good things that are happening for you. But if you could maybe introduce yourself, just talk a little bit about what you did before and what drove you to want to start your own business and with the help of a franchise.
Absolutely. So I come from a long list of, family entrepreneurs. So even from a young age, I've always known that I wanted to get into business for myself. It was just finding that framework and finding that industry and really just business idea that I really liked and could stand behind. So I've been in professional sales my entire career, anything from, digital marketing to payroll to, staffing, occupational therapists and pharmacists to even selling for a CPA firm, which was my last role,
Mhm.
which was rather interesting. But again, just kind of got to a point where I got sick of building someone else's business and wanted to jump out on my own. So this is actually not my first franchise. This is my second. So I started. And actually, when COVID arose, I saw an opportunity in the janitorial cleaning space. So I decided to purchase a franchise specifically called 360 Clean, and then was able to scale that relatively quickly and work myself out of the business where I'm spending maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours a week at most on the business. And that's it. So I grew it to a point where it is extremely passive, and then wanted to look for my next venture. And my dad owns and operates his own drywall business, and so I just knew the trades. I grew up in the trades, just knew that type of environment, and really just the unprofessionalism in the trades. Really, it's like you show up when you say you're going to show up, do what you say you're going to do, and do good work, and that's it. So it's certainly not hard, but 98% of contractors, I feel like, just continue to miss the mark. So even though that's not necessarily my experience, laying floors and laying tile, I felt with my professional background, I could implement something and deliver, something that's different to not only Omaha, but really kind of everyone in general, just deliver a different type of experience. But, more specifically, why I like franchising was, I wasn't naive to the fact that, this would be, my first couple businesses, and, being a first time business owner, I really wanted to avoid those pitfalls that are really inevitable. It's just kind of a matter of time. And so I wanted to be given some sort of blueprint and some sort of framework to play in of, here's what you need to do on a day-to-day basis. Here's how you make it successful. Here's how you scale. And here's how you expand even into new markets. So I love I love that framework, and that's why I chose franchising. And it's certainly been going really really well for me. So I'm very happy with my decision.
And with Footprints specifically, you've found all of these things that you're looking for in terms of, I mean, we were just talking offline, and you don't need to give any financial information here, but what we were talking about before you got started is tremendous growth in just a few months, because you just got started. Would you say like November?
Yep. So my first full week was Thanksgiving of 2020.
Hmm.
So my first full month was December, then January, then now we're wrapping up February, and I would anticipate that I'll be in the top 10 of all franchise systems for that month of February, which is great. But yeah, they provide so many systems in place where I'm not needing to worry more so about the day to day, where I can really focus on really just the main aspects of the business, which is sales, sales and production, and then that's it. And everything else they're handling. So they have so much support, and I have nothing but great things to say about them.
Well, and I know that's, we looked at quite a few different things together, and I know you looked at a lot of other things on your own as well, and including ending up with the cleaning company on top of the things that we looked at. But if you were to give some advice to somebody who is thinking about getting into franchising right now, and maybe they're thinking about Footprints, maybe not, but what was it that attracted you to this opportunity, and what would you recommend they do in the process in terms of looking for an opportunity for them?
Yeah. So what attracted me to, I guess, first and foremost, the 360 Clean, franchise company that I started. I just really saw an opportunity kind of with COVID, that
Mm.
with the janitorial cleaning, just industry in general, again, it's something that's very unprofessionalized, and a lot of companies are doing it in house or doing it themselves, or they'll have an office manager. And by no means are they doing a bad job, but it's certainly, they weren't trained, they weren't educated, and most likely they're not using the right equipment, maybe more importantly the proper chemicals to keep things clean. So I saw an opportunity there,
Yeah.
which obviously it's been going great. And then also same thing too with Footprints Floors, and again, just with my background and knowing my dad obviously my whole life, and just what he does and how he operates, and how can I do things differently. But really those two companies I'm super happy about. But I guess I would say, just as far as any sort of advice, is I really like to look at the unsexy businesses.
Yeah.
So restaurants are great, but there's so much overhead and there's such little margins that really, there's so many other opportunities. So I just would say focus more on the numbers, and not necessarily about, I'm passionate about something very specific, because at the end of the day, we all want to feed our families, and you make money being a business owner. So I would just recommend focusing on that first.
Awesome. And in terms of your launch and the success you've had, I mean, have you done anything outside of what the franchises have recommended, or did you just literally take their playbook and run with it?
Yeah, so that's the thing, is I am a little creative, but not very creative. So I just stuck with the blueprint of, this is what they told me to do. This is what they told me to focus on.
Yeah.
Now there was a couple things that I finessed, as far as just as far, not necessarily the marketing piece, but when I am in front of someone talking about either cleaning or talking about flooring or tile, just what does that sales process look like? But again, since I come from sales and that's been my entire career, I can implement things that work.
Absolutely. And out of self-interest, I kind of teed you up for that one because I knew the answer. I've rarely, yeah, I've rarely met a successful franchisee, especially one only a few months into the business or a year into the business, who wasn't really good at just following the plan. So, uh,
Mm-hmm.
listen, I know how busy you are in this phase of your business launches, and I sure appreciate you taking a few minutes to catch back up with me, and I've enjoyed working with you, helping you find franchise, and I definitely envision a lot more success, and maybe you'll get to number one before long on that board.
That would be the goal. But yeah,
That's
I
right.
certainly appreciate you. I certainly appreciate you having me on. It's always great catching up with you, John.
All right, I appreciate it.